Happiness is not a prepackaged gift handed to you by society. As the Dalai Lama once said, happiness is not something ready-made. It comes from your own actions. Most people chase happiness as if it were a prize at the end of a race, believing it can be found in wealth, status, or the validation of others. But the Sigma male knows better. He doesn't follow the crowd, nor does he seek permission to live life on his own terms. His happiness isn't about fitting into society's expectations. It's about creating his own world. The Sigma male isn't built for shallow pleasures or artificial success. What fuels him is something far deeper: freedom, growth, and control over his own destiny. While others seek comfort in belonging, he thrives in solitude, shaping his path without interference. His mind is sharp, his instincts precise, and he refuses to live a life dictated by others. This is what makes him rare. The world often misunderstands men like him, but that's part of his power. He doesn't exist to be understood. He exists to be uncheckable and true. For the Sigma male, happiness isn't given, it's created. It's the result of the choices he makes, the independence he protects, and the wisdom he builds. If you've ever doubted your path, remember this: you are a Sigma male because you refuse to settle. And that refusal alone puts you leagues ahead of the rest. 1. Making money without selling his soul. For most people, the pursuit of wealth is tied to status, recognition, and approval. But for the Sigma male, it's about freedom. He doesn't chase money to impress others, to flex on his peers, or to climb a corporate ladder he never wanted to be on in the first place. His happiness comes from the ability to make money on his own terms while remaining completely true to himself. The Sigma male isn't interested in selling his soul for a paycheck. He isn't willing to compromise his values, integrity, or freedom unless to get ahead in a system that doesn't align with his principles. He wants financial independence, and he goes after it in a way that allows him to remain in control of his life. Whether it's through entrepreneurship, freelancing, or investing, he finds ways to make money that don't require him to play games he doesn't believe in. The idea of being beholden to a boss or following rigid corporate rules for a paycheck is a nightmare to the Sigma male. He doesn't want his life dictated by someone else's expectations. The thought of sacrificing his time, peace, or values for financial gain is unthinkable. Instead, he figures out how to earn in a way that gives him the freedom to live life exactly how he wants. And when it all clicks, when the money starts coming in without the compromises, there's a deep satisfaction that comes with it. It's the fulfillment of knowing you've earned everything without losing yourself in the process. For the Sigma male, making money isn't just about the money. It's about proving to himself that he can create the life he wants, one that allows him to stay true to his values, protect his freedom, and never compromise on what truly matters. That's real wealth: freedom, control, and authenticity. And that's what makes the Sigma male's approach to money not only successful, but deeply fulfilling. 2. Outwitting systems instead of submitting to them. Most people accept rules without question. They follow the script society hands them: work, obey, conform. They never stop to ask who really benefits from this system. But the Sigma male sees through it all. He understands that most systems aren't built to serve him, they're built to control him. And nothing satisfies him more than finding a way to break free on his own terms. For the Sigma male, life isn't about blind obedience, it's about playing smarter. He doesn't rebel just to make a scene, that's what the reckless do. Instead, he moves strategically, finding loopholes, bending bureaucracy to his advantage, and sidestepping expectations that don't serve him. If there's a rule that limits his freedom, he doesn't complain. He studies it, exploits it, and rewrites it in his favor. This is why Sigma males rarely get trapped in the same struggles as everyone else. While others are stuck in dead-end routines, drowning in obligations, and waiting for permission, the Sigma male is 3 steps ahead. He knows how to navigate job markets without selling his soul, how to build wealth without playing corporate games, and how to live life by his own design. The system only has power over those who submit to it. The Sigma male masters it from the outside. What makes this even more satisfying is that most people never even realize what he's doing. He doesn't announce his moves. He doesn't need validation. He simply maneuvers through life like a shadow, unpredictable, untouchable, and always in control. This isn't about breaking the law or being unethical. It's about understanding the system better than those who created it. And when a Sigma male outsmarts the rules meant to confine him, he doesn't just win, he proves he was never meant to be controlled in the first place. 3. Existing without justifying. Most people spend their lives explaining themselves, justifying their choices, defending their opinions, and seeking approval before making a move. But the Sigma male operates differently. He doesn't ask for permission, and he certainly doesn't waste time explaining himself to those who don't matter. His life is his own, and that truth alone gives him an unmatched level of freedom. For the Sigma male, the need to justify is a trap, a subtle way the world tries to control him. The moment he starts explaining why he thinks differently, why he prefers solitude, or why he refuses to follow trends, he gives others the illusion that their approval matters. But it doesn't. He isn't here to convince anyone. He isn't here to fit a mold. He simply exists on his own terms. This mindset unsettles people. Society expects men to be predictable, to conform, to explain their choices so others can judge whether they are acceptable. But the Sigma male doesn't play that game. He moves in silence, acts without seeking validation, and never apologizes for being himself. And here's what makes this even more powerful. When you stop justifying yourself, people don't know how to handle you. They expect explanations, excuses, or a need for reassurance. But when they get nothing, they're left questioning themselves instead. That's why the Sigma male always holds the upper hand in relationships, business, and life. This isn't arrogance, it's efficiency. He saves his energy for what truly matters. He doesn't waste breath on people who wouldn't understand him anyway. Instead of proving himself, he lets his results speak. Instead of defending his path, he simply walks it. The world may not always understand the Sigma male, but that's the beauty of it. He exists without needing to be understood, and that, in itself, is the purest form of power. 4. Knowing he can't be controlled. Most people live under an invisible leash, tied to expectations, afraid to disappoint, and constantly seeking approval. But the Sigma male cut that leash a long time ago. His happiness doesn't come from fitting in or pleasing others. It comes from one unshakable truth: no one can control him. The moment someone tries to manipulate him, guilt-trip him, or pressure him into compliance, he mentally checks out. It doesn't matter if it's a boss, a partner, or society itself. He refuses to be a pawn in someone else's game. His thoughts are his own. His actions are his choice. His future is his design. Anyone who tries to pull his strings quickly learns he doesn't have any. This is what makes him so frustrating to those who rely on control. They can't use guilt, flattery, or peer pressure against him. He sees through emotional traps and social games instantly. Where most people would bend, he stands firm and moved, uninterested, and immune to manipulation. This independence isn't just a preference, it's his lifeline. He values his autonomy more than approval, comfort, or even relationships. He'd rather walk away from an entire situation than surrender even a fraction of his freedom. And the best part, people sense this. They know they have no hold over him, which makes them either deeply respect him or desperately try to break him. But here's the brutal truth. No one breaks a Sigma. You can't shame him into submission. You can't lure him with rewards, and you definitely can't force him into a mold he never wanted to fit in the first place. The Sigma male moves through life with an untamed mind and an unshackled spirit. His happiness isn't in following the rules, it's in knowing he never has to. 5. Collecting skills like others collect friends. Most people build their identity around who they know. They chase connections, build social circles, and measure their worth by how many people they can call friends. But the Sigma male builds his identity around what he knows. He doesn't care about being surrounded by people. He cares about being prepared, adaptable, and dangerously competent. For the Sigma male, skills are currency. Every new ability he masters makes him more self-reliant, more unpredictable, and less dependent on anyone. While others network to gain favors, he upgrades his personal arsenal, learning everything from survival tactics to coding, from self-defense to niche knowledge that gives him an edge. If a skill makes him more powerful, more untouchable, or more self-sufficient, he's all in, and the satisfaction is unmatched. There's nothing more rewarding than knowing he can handle situations others would panic in. When a crisis hits, most people scramble for help. He simply executes what he's already mastered. When others need guidance, he has the knowledge to move with precision. This relentless hunger for self-improvement makes him stand out. While others waste time chasing validation, he's sharpening skills they don't even know they need. This is why the Sigma male is hard to predict and even harder to replace. He isn't bound by a single profession, a single mindset, or a single path. He's a one-man army, a walking encyclopedia, and a survivalist all-in-one. And here's the best part. No one sees it coming. He never brags. He never announces his progress. He just quietly levels up, collecting skills like weapons in an arsenal. By the time people realize how capable he is, it's already too late. The Sigma male doesn't chase social approval. He chases mastery. And while others rely on connections, favors, or luck to get ahead, he relies on something far more powerful: himself. 6. Operating in the shadows with full control. Most people crave recognition. They want their names in lights, their faces on screens, and their achievements broadcasted for all to see. But the Sigma male moves differently. He doesn't need the spotlight, he needs control. And real control happens behind the scenes. The Sigma male understands something most people don't. Power is strongest when it's invisible. The loudest person in the room is usually the weakest. The one who boasts about their influence is often the first to lose it. That's why the Sigma male operates in silence. He doesn't announce his moves, he doesn't seek validation, and he definitely doesn't need credit. His satisfaction comes from knowing he's pulling the strings while the world remains unaware. Think about it. Who really runs the show? The CEO in the spotlight or the strategist in the background feeding him the right moves? The politician giving speeches or the quiet advisor shaping his decisions? The Sigma male always prefers the latter. He doesn't waste energy on attention. He spends it on precision, on influence, on control. This ability to manipulate outcomes without exposing himself makes him untouchable. He can shift situations, guide conversations, and alter the course of events, all while remaining unseen. When things go right, others take the credit. When things go wrong, he walks away untouched. And the best part, no one realizes he's even there. While others fight for visibility, he stays unnoticed, studying their every move, predicting their next step, and influencing decisions without them ever suspecting a thing. The Sigma male doesn't chase applause, he chases results. And while the world fixates on those in the spotlight, he's in the background, watching, planning, and staying 10 steps ahead. 7. Watching people reveal their true colors. The Sigma male doesn't take people at face value. Words mean nothing. Patterns do. Anyone can say the right things, put on a charming act, or promise loyalty. But given enough time, everyone exposes who they truly are. And for the Sigma male, watching this unfold is both fascinating and deeply satisfying. Most people rush into trust blindly, believing what they're told, but the Sigma male watches. He listens. He studies the gaps between what people say and what they actually do. And without fail, contradictions start to appear. A friend who preaches honesty but bends the truth. A leader who talks about loyalty but abandons his own. A person who claims strength but folds under pressure. The Sigma male doesn't need to call them out, he just takes notes. This ability makes him nearly impossible to deceive. While others get played by sweet talk and fake kindness, he picks up on the micro-expressions, the inconsistencies, the subtle shifts in energy. He knows when someone's words don't match their intentions. And the best part, they never realize he's catching on. They assume he's just quiet, indifferent, maybe even unaware. But in reality, he's 5 steps ahead, waiting for the inevitable moment they expose themselves. And when that moment comes, it's not anger. It's not disappointment, it's confirmation. The Sigma male never gets blindsided because he never fully trusts in the first place. By the time someone reveals their true nature, he's already prepared, already distanced, already immune. This is why he moves differently, why he's selective, detached, and always in control. While others get shocked by betrayals or hurt by deception, the Sigma male simply nods as if to say, "I knew it," because deep down, he always did. 8. Owning his time like it's his most sacred asset. Time is the Sigma male's most valuable asset. More than money, more than status, time is the one thing he can't get back. And because of that, he guards it fiercely. He doesn't tolerate time wasters. While most people let others dictate their schedules, rushing through life, following every demand, every appointment, and every obligation, the Sigma male has a different approach. He decides when, where, and how he spends his time, and that control is priceless. Whether it's waking up early to pursue personal goals or cutting off distractions that steal his focus, he owns every minute of his day. The idea of someone else filling up his time with meaningless tasks or draining conversations is unthinkable to him. He knows that every hour spent on something he doesn't care about is an hour lost. The satisfaction the Sigma male gets from being in control of his own schedule is unmatched. There's something deeply peaceful about knowing that every moment is intentionally used, whether it's carving out time for a hobby, diving deep into self-improvement, or simply being alone to recharge. The ability to choose is what makes him truly content. Time isn't something he lets slip away. It's not wasted on unnecessary social events or shallow relationships. If it doesn't serve his growth, his peace, or his happiness, it's not in his calendar. People may try to pull him into their chaos, but he'll always find a way to maintain control. This fierce control over his own time creates a sense of freedom that others envy. It's not just about time management. It's about managing his life in a way that makes him feel aligned with his values and goals. The Sigma male knows that time, once spent, is gone forever, so he chooses wisely. 9. Knowing he's an outlier and loving it. For most people, fitting in is a goal. They chase the approval of the crowd, follow the same trends, and play by the same rules. But for the Sigma male, that's not just boring, it's a trap. His happiness comes from the simple, liberating truth that he's not like everyone else, and he never wants to be. The Sigma male embraces his outsider status because he knows it's his ultimate strength. While the world follows a predictable path, believing success comes from conformity and playing it safe, he's walking his own way. He's the outlier in the room, the one who isn't afraid to be different, to question the status quo, and to trust that his unique approach will get him exactly where he wants to go. And here's the kicker, he's at peace with it. While others are desperately trying to fit in, he's found true freedom in his individuality. He doesn't need to mimic the crowd or chase trends to feel validated. He's mastered the art of self-reliance, knowing that the power to define his life lies in the choices only he makes. The rules the world plays by don't apply to him because he's already created his own. This sense of self-assurance doesn't come from arrogance, but from understanding the beauty of being different. The more the world tries to pigeonhole him, the more he flourishes in his own way, whether it's in his career, his relationships, or his lifestyle. He's learned to move through life on his own terms, untouched and unaffected by the noise around him. For the Sigma male, being an outlier and a burden, it's his greatest source of joy. It's what makes him untouchable, unstoppable, and ultimately happier than those who are busy trying to be just like everyone else. 10. Walking away when he feels like it. The true power of the Sigma male lies in his ability to walk away, no questions asked. For him, happiness is knowing he has the freedom to leave any situation that no longer aligns with his values, goals, or peace of mind. Whether it's a job that drains him, a relationship that holds him back, or a social scene that feels like a waste of time, he'll walk away without hesitation, and he'll do it with confidence. For most people, walking away from something can feel like a risk, a loss, or a failure. But for the Sigma male, it's the complete opposite. It's empowerment. Do you resonate with the ideas I shared in this video? Share your thoughts in the comments below. If you're interested in more content about Sigma males, explore the other videos on this channel. Thanks for watching.